Why were you talking about
We're
it?
working yesterday when we do.
I don't got it.
We're working yesterday. So
This one?
It's hot.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
أشهد أن لا إله إلا محمدا عبده ورسوله. First of all, Eid Mubarak, everyone. Come on, shout Eid Mubarak. So, Eid service is similar to but different from Friday prayers. For Eid, we have the Salat first, and the sermon is followed by the Salat. And the Salat is slightly different in that in the first rakah, you have 7 additional takbeers. So the Imam says Allahu Akbar, and then the initial recitation, then 7 additional takbeers, then Surah Fatiha, and so on. And in the second rakah, there are 5 additional takbeers. And it's just 2 rakahs, and it's followed by the Friday sermon. So if you can all stand and make straight rows. And for Eid namaz, there is no azan or iqamah. Allahu Akbar. 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 Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Malik يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين أرأيت الذي يكذب بالدين فذلك الذي يدعو اليتيم ولا يحض على طعام المسكين ويل للمصلين الذين هم عن صلاتهم ساهون الذين هم يراءون ويمنعون الماعون الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده
ربنا
الله أكبر 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 الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانهر إن شانئك هو الأبتر الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. Tabarak Rabbana. I'm starting by reading Hazrat Ameer's Eid message for this Eid. لن ينال الله لحومها ولا دماؤها ولكن يناله التقوى منكم. It is not their flesh or their blood that reaches Allah, but to him is acceptable observance of duty on your part. This is verse 37 of the chapter entitled Al-Hajj. Hazrat Ameer says, dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Eid al-Adha Mubarak. I would like to convey my Eid greetings to brothers and sisters of the global Lahore Ahmadiyya Jamaat all over the world. This Eid is referred to as the Eid of sacrifice, as it commemorates the great sacrifice offered by Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam. It reminds us of his willingness to sacrifice the life of his beloved son Hazrat Ismail alayhi salam in submission to Allah's command. He was stopped from doing so prior to the actual sacrifice. And his willingness to submit was accepted by Allah. This Eid is a reminder of the lesson associated with this event and a domination that if the need arises, we should not hesitate to make any sacrifice needed in the way of Allah. The Arabic root for word qurbani or sacrifice is qaf ra ba, which also signifies closeness to Allah. This closeness to Allah can only be attained by sacrificing in submission to Allah's will, as it is clear from the above verse from chapter 22, Al-Hajj. It is not the flesh or blood of the animal that reaches Allah. It is the underlining taqwa or righteousness or awareness of Allah and our duty to Him. And that is, we are offering that sacrifice and hoping that Allah likes it. This Eid, let us all make an effort to sacrifice our nafs al-ammara, which is our ego or our greedy self. As Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad said, as we run the knives over the necks of the sacrificial lamb, we should also make a decision that we are severing our connection with our nafs al-ammara. We should make a resolution to overcome the desires and distractions of our animal self or ego and to devote our lives to the service of Allah. To ensure that all of our worship and sacrifices are for His sake only. That we consider our bodies in life and in death a trust of Allah, or trust from Allah, the Lord of the world. We should consider Him as the only object of our worship, the one without any partner, and remove all idols from our hearts and purify our hearts only for the remembrance of Him, as the Kaaba was purified of all idols. As a result, Allah, who cannot be contained in the heavens and the earth, but He comes to live in a believer's heart, the heart of a true believer. And He can find His way to our hearts and grant us the status of Nafsan Mutmainna, or the soul that is contented, the soul that is at rest. I pray for a state of complete spiritual peace for us all. I want to add here that we heard the word Qurbani and its root being Ka, Ra, and Ba, and that it signifies closeness to Allah. But we see this closeness in our everyday lives. Baby cries, and to show her closeness, the mother or the father give up their sleep, give up their rest, and feed that baby, or go and see why the baby is crying. That brings the mother and child close to each other. That is a daily sacrifice that is made. The point about Qurbani is that you have to do it every day. You have to seek closeness to Allah every day. There are many examples, many ways in which you can do it. My father, when we arrived in this country, there were only, I think, 2 mosques. And in most places, people would rent a hall or gather in someone's front room for Eid prayers and so on. There was no one to teach kids lessons, Quran lessons. So my father did that. And it's interesting that my grandfather taught us, and my father taught his grandchildren. And I teach some of you sitting here. And as my great-grandfather said, he will not die until we carry on keeping alive this tradition of serving the Jama'ah. My mother would write letters and complete forms for people who couldn't read or write English or even any language. What would she give? She would be sacrificing her time every week, every month, sometimes even every day. Now I carry on with these things. And I hope when I'm gone, you will carry on with these things. And in words of my great-grandfather, although my body may be laid to rest, I would not have died. And kids and parents make sacrifices for their children in many ways, which are akin to the symbolic sacrifice that we make on Eid day. Remember, I like 3-piece suits. And we went to a shop My father was going to buy a suit and I was going to buy one. And we didn't have enough money for 2 3-piece suits. So my father said, buy one for Shahi. It's okay. I'll make do with a 2-piece suit. It may seem insignificant, but the point is that he sacrificed his own desires and his own likeness for someone else. And that brings closer to them. I still remember that incident, and I relate it to many people. If Dad had bought a 3-piece suit for himself and I'd got a 2-piece suit, I still would have a new suit, but would I remember that incident and would I be relating to it? Would it have brought me closer to my father? No. There are other examples. For example, teachers give up their spare time after school. For many duties, they don't get paid. Like, I don't know, coaching football teams, cricket teams, or in my case, when I was going to go to university, the teachers stayed behind, 3 of them, and gave me a practice interview for university, and then made notes and told me where I went wrong and all kinds of things. Sometimes Allah gives you an opportunity to make a sacrifice. And in giving you that opportunity, He is testing you. The sir was in the post office and he saw a couple talking. And Christmas was coming up, and the doctors had said that the male will not live to see another Christmas. So they arranged a big Christmas party and everything, and they were standing there discussing. They had a card and a key to charge gas and electricity, and they were discussing which one to charge because they didn't have enough money left to charge both. And Mudassar heard that, and Mudassar said, in our culture, young are regarded as every elder's children. Would you allow this son to serve you? And he charged their gas and their electricity so that it was sufficient until the end of January. The point is, God gives you this opportunity to see how you will behave. When you have a problem, you turn to Him and ask for help. Now here is a couple who have a problem. Are you going to behave in the way you expect God to behave towards you? Or just be arrogant? And if you're going to be arrogant, then why should God help you when you turn to Him and say, please help me? God's question will be, when someone needed help and you were in a position to help, what did you do? I don't come on from heavens to help people. The same with the seed. Someone needed some financial help, and the seed helped them out without telling anyone, or without making a big song and dance about that. If they were billionaires, or if they become billionaires, I would not be so proud of them as I am of these 2 things that they did. That they served someone else when they saw the need. So this is the daily sacrifice we are required to make. Not just once in a year. And Eid is the day that we stop there. Did I rise up to the occasion and help people? Or do I need to do more? It's a reminder lest we forget that we have to make a sacrifice on a daily basis for someone. It may be a relative, it may be a friend, it may be a neighbor, it may be someone we don't know and we've never seen and may never see again. The person's color or caste or religion or sect or nationality, none of it matters. What matters is that you helped a human being who was in need of help. And you should thank God. It's not the person you are helping who should be grateful. It is you who should be grateful for God giving you an opportunity to serve humanity. So remember that this is the lesson of Eid al-Adha and try and implement it in your lives every day until next Eid, when you have to take account of your actions for the previous month. Eid Mubarak, everyone. Come on, shout Eid Mubarak. Sitting. Yes, that's better. You make enough noise ordinarily, and when you're on radio and television and so on, and I say, shout Eid Mubarak, it's Eid Mubarak. Let me switch the broadcast